Hi guys, I am wanting to do a video and I'm in my backyard, so hopefully it's not too much sound from the cars way over there. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about are things that I learned being about 7 years in the industry. And not that 7 years is a lot, but I've had a lot of different experiences. I've worked for different airlines, different companies. I've worked in different locations. I've done three different things. I've done ramp, customer service, flight attending, and just a few of the things that I learned. Obviously, they're not really hiring as much at the moment because of the whole COVID-19 coronavirus, but very soon, obviously, they will. I don't know when, in a year or 2 years. I have no clue. Months from now, who knows? Hopefully soon. But okay, so one of the things that I noticed was that airlines really make a difference. Like the airline that you work for makes such a huge difference, not only according to just say if you're a flight attendant in the bases that they cover, but even someone just a ramp agent or a customer service agent, how you're treated. Does this company have a union? Do the wages go up? Are you just a contract worker and you don't get flight benefits? What type of flight benefits do you get? Do you get the best where you can go and get a vacation pass and bump everyone? Or are you always going to be at the bottom? There's SA means space available. SA 0 is like vacation where you can bump people even that are higher seniority than you. SA 1 is like normal. And then other, like if you're a contract company, part of a contract company, and you might get SA 5 or SA 7 or SA 8, which means that even if you've been there at that company, that contract company for 30 years, you're going to be still at the bottom from somebody that works for the actual airline and they've only been there one day. You will get a lower travel priority and it'll be harder to get on the airplane when you are traveling non-rev. Retirement makes a difference, being able to work for an airline and get retirement. You don't want to have to work forever. Obviously, you want to be able to have that end point and be able to get flight benefits at the very end. And just travel the world without having to work. You want to obviously have retirement. A lot of companies obviously don't really give that much retirement. You have to, maybe they'll do a match. You put an amount and then they match it, or I remember when I was with Delta, they actually gave us tons of stock. That was such a great company to work for. That was probably my favorite one. The location, your station, makes a difference. I remember at one point I was going to be commuting to LA, and that's without traffic, it's about 45 minutes. With traffic, it could be up to 2 hours. So my station is very close to my house. It's within 10-15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes ish. And it makes a difference because you don't have to really worry about, California traffic. You don't know with where I live, you never know how long it's going to take to get someplace. And if there's one accident, it could take you 3 hours to get someplace. So just the location of your station and being close by is really nice. I remember when I was a flight attendant and I had to commute from California all the way to Chicago. I was able to go direct, but some people have double commutes where they have, like, just say they're from a small area and they have to do, just say Knoxville, Tennessee to Atlanta to Chicago, like a double commute just to get to their base or their station, which is hard. So if you are at a location near your home and don't have to hit traffic or don't have to do a double commute, that is the best thing. Remember that seniority is king. Seniority is everything. Seniority gets you when you want to be able to bid for the best shifts. The vacation, like we get like, I think our first year, I think we get like a week or two off a year, and the seniority is the bidding order. Bidding, obviously, travel, being able to go home if there's a delayed flight or something, and you are a senior, you can go before the junior people can go. When you're a flight attendant and you are more senior, you're going to be able to. I remember one time our flight got canceled or something, but I was so junior that everybody, all the flight attendants got to deadhead, mean right as a passenger, and I had to actually work it. So that makes such a difference in your life. So the longer you are with a particular place, it's so much easier. But certain airlines, seniority is so senior. I mean, 30, 40 years these people are there. So it just depends on the airline. I mean, some airlines that are smaller, like a SkyWest or like I'm assuming like an American Eagle or like those smaller regional places, seniority, you can rack up seniority a lot quicker than the legacy carriers like the Uniteds, the Deltas, the Americans. They stay forever. So it takes a little bit longer for you to gain seniority. But I've noticed when you do work for the biggies and not the contract or the smaller regionals, I feel like you get treated better. I feel like just with the pay, with the opportunities for growth, with so many different aspects, you do get treated better when you are with the bigger companies, but it takes a lot longer to gain seniority. Um, Also, what I learned is make sure you do a lot of self-care. Make sure you get enough sleep. I mean, there's nothing worse than trying to work a shift and you're throwing bags and you are exhausted because you only slept 2 hours that night, and your body doesn't want to wake up because you're so tired. Or even customer service, and you're there and you have these people, and all of a sudden your flight gets canceled and you have to rebook all these different people, 50 to 130 people, and you're exhausted because you didn't get enough sleep the night before, or you're not drinking enough water. I remember even recently, I just started making sure that I took care of myself. If, you know, it didn't matter. I knew that I would take a break and I would make sure that I had water with me, or drink water, or have my coffee, and just take care of myself. Um, get enough sleep, eat well, hydrate myself. Make sure that you wear the correct shoes. Make sure you have everything that you need. Hand sanitizers, obviously, now in the age of Corona. And just make sure that you take care of yourself. I remember at the beginning of this actual airline that we're working for, we had someone come in and teach us how to do proper stretches before our shift, and told us that we need to stretch and take care of our bodies before we move anything, even with the customer service when we're having to lift bags or move the jet bridge or push things down and all that stuff. So just stretch and move your body and do all that kind of stuff. Make sure that, I remember another thing that I learned is make sure you use all your uniform points, and just use them, because sometimes you lose them. Obviously, sometimes you just continue to accrue them, but like those points are there. That points are like quote unquote money. So just say like you get 250 points a year, that which is worth $250. So just making sure, I mean, you earn that stuff, and so you might as well get as many uniforms. And I get like maybe more formal ones, and then I get comfortable ones. So it just depends on the day. Sometimes I want to be more casual and I just wear like casual uniform pieces, and sometimes I want to be a little bit more dressed up and I wear the nicer uniform pieces. So get a variety of them and know the sizes, because you don't know, a lot of times the sizes aren't true. The ones that are true, that'll say like 38 by 32 or whatever, but the ones like small, medium, large, just kind of find out if they run big, if they run small, and or get like a sample of each. Get it, realize, okay, these fit, and then you can order the rest. But make sure you use your points. That's what I learned. And learn how to manipulate your shifts. Learn, that is everything. I mean, for me, even with the last bid, which was probably 5 days a week, and if I actually worked my shifts, my original shifts, I couldn't do the job. I mean, I feel like I would be away from my family. I wouldn't be able to have my other job. I just wouldn't have a quality of life. So learn how to manipulate your shifts. Give your shifts away if you don't need your shifts. Stack your shifts with your buddies, and bid according to being able to stack your shifts if you want. Like what I do is I have a core group of 4 people that I work with, and many of them are senior like me, senior enough to be able to do it. I might have one junior person because we might have one ugly shift at the very end of the night that we can use just to stack our from morning to night or whatever. But you work with people, and you're like, okay, if you bid this, You bid this, you bid this. Okay, what's our backup? And so you guys work together and you just back up and you bid and you stack your shifts. So get with a core group of buddies if you can, and work together. Um, that is, and also attitude is everything. If you go into work, like sometimes in the mornings, I realize I'm not a morning person, and you're just tired and you're just like, I don't even want to wake up. I don't want to even be there. But for me, what gets me going is I start thinking about, um, just seeing my friends at work. And what I do is I make sure I always have coffee because that makes me happy. And then I listen to music on the way, or I pray, or I just start thinking about how blessed I am to be able to do this job, and just be in the industry that I love. And the final thing for me is use your flight benefits. If you use your flight benefits, it doesn't matter for me how much I'm getting paid. It doesn't matter how annoying the passengers can be, how tired I am throwing those bags, or anything. When I start talking to my friends at work about where they came from, and they were like, you should try this, make sure you go to Germany, or make sure you go here, Brazil, or all the different places that they've gone, and we have options, in our downtime, and we click on and they say, oh, I went to this hotel and it was amazing, or I rented from this company and this and that. That's what makes the job for me, is travel. Having the ability to go and travel the world, travel throughout my country, and just see so many different things and eat so many different foods is everything. So if you want to enjoy your job, I feel like you should travel. And I remember even with training, not this airline, but the one right before this one that we were at, and they were saying, yes, you don't make that much money, especially at the beginning, but travel so that you're going to at least make through this company $100,000 a year. And we were like, what does he mean by that? And what he meant by that was pretend like figure out how much every flight costs. So for instance, if you're going to Japan first class and it's going to be $6,000, just say, okay, I'm going to go to Japan first class with my family. 6 times 5, that's $30,000. Okay, cool. So that is part of my paycheck. Okay, then I'm going to go to New York, or I'm going to go to England, or I'm going to go to Knoxville, Tennessee to visit my family. Different things like that. Add that all of that up and say, you know what, I made $100,000 this year. So kind of use it as that too, so that you're not getting so frustrated with the fact that maybe you aren't making what you want at the moment, and go from there. But that's my 2 cents. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.